You're now listening to the Sportz Nutz.
Hey, the Sportz Nutz.
Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. Buy one, get one 50% off drinks.
Tequila's Grill Mexican restaurant has homemade salsa bars. They have the most authentic, most delicious, and most affordable Mexican cuisine in town.
Hey, welcome everybody to the Sportz Nutz. Yes, we are coming live today at an early time. Yes, there is a show tonight. Don't get me wrong, but we have a special guest. He is actually the play-by-play announcer for your Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, or as they call them, the Ramblin' Wreck, whichever. Just excited to have baseball like in the thick of it right now, and ACC play is doing really good. Before we bring our guest on, though, my man sitting right here, Mr. Shane Owen. I know you're at work, man, so hope we can hear you. But how are you doing, sir?
Man, I'm doing great. I hope everybody can hear me. I'm sorry, I got a couple machines running in the background, but trying to finish up the day. Hopefully, here in just a little while. And man, I had to come on, man. Of course, a baseball lover and an ACC guy, so I definitely had to come on and make this one.
Absolutely, guys. We are going to have fun with you. Look, we only have him for about 15, 20 minutes. So without further ado, Mr. Colin Lacey, your play-by-play announcer for the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Colin, how you doing, man?
What's going on, guys? I hate that I had to mess up the schedule, and especially on your birthday, Brandon. I mean, not a great birthday present for you, but appreciate you having me, guys.
Oh man, no, it's hey, I love doing this. This is so much fun, getting to talk to people, getting to be a part of the sports world, and just having fun. It's a great birthday gift. Yes, Shane joked with me earlier, so I've circled the sun officially 41 times. But Shane was so graciously to let me know that I'm 102 today. But I do gotta let you know, out of all of us, Colin, Shane is the baby. We actually have a little like short out there where we were talking about get him some diapers. He's the youngest one because he's still in his early 30s kind of range. So
Hey, I'm with you, dude. Embrace it.
that's right, But look, thank you so much for coming on. We really do absolutely appreciate it. Like I said, Matt and Hank may join us. I don't know. Matt works at the Mall of Georgia, and Hank is in Memphis. But Shane, he has been gracious enough to join us. But so I want to get right into it. Obviously, you guys have had a phenomenal year. You're number 21, ranked number 21 in the nation. You guys are only like a half a game behind Clemson and North Carolina State for basically second and third in ACC standings. I mean, and you guys have like y'all are electric. And so Matt is a diehard Georgia Tech fan. He absolutely loves Georgia Tech. I'm a University of Hawaii guy. Hank is a University of Memphis, and Shane is a Virginia Tech kind of guy. But can you explain like what is the difference from this year and last year that makes Georgia Tech be as good as they are so far?
I think the biggest thing that you point to is the depth, and especially on the pitching side. Second-year pitching coach with Matt Taylor and Jason Richmond, the director of pitching, have made an unbelievable impact to this program. And you get it to year two where they get a full recruiting cycle in, because last year you saw the improvements from 2 years ago to last year, but the talent level wasn't necessarily where they wanted it to be. This year, you get a full recruiting class, a number of transfers coming in, a couple of really impactful freshmen so far this year. And so the pitching is some of the best that it's ever been here at Georgia Tech. And that's always kind of been the bugaboo for Georgia Tech, especially the last 10, 15 years, has been the pitching staff side. There have been some elite offenses roll through here at Rush Chandler Stadium, but it's been the pitching staff that has been the shortcoming for Georgia Tech. This year, it's been a really, really electric pitching staff to be able to have. And you've got two guys that have locked down Friday and Saturday with Tate McKee on Friday and Brady Jones, the Georgia State transfer, coming in and locking down Saturday. And so having those two guys, and oh, by the way, you got somebody like Mason Patel, who for a lot of the years had a sub-1 ERA, has pitched in multiple games throughout the weekend and kind of been that bullpen ace that Matt Taylor has talked about. It's been a lot of fun to watch the growth of what this pitching staff has been, even from the fall up until now.
Absolutely. Shane, you got a question? Go right ahead, man.
Yeah, I kind of want to tag on with you. I mean, y'all's pitching is greatly improved from a couple of years ago. of course, as we were talking before you came on the show and before we got started here, man, ACC play, it's kind of ramped up, and you see a lot of good teams this year. Not necessarily, two or three at the very top, and then you kind of got some mid guys that could make some noise. But I mean, y'all, NC State, Clemson, Florida State, Carolina, Louisville's also playing good this year. Um, it's kind of funny you mentioned about the pitching and all. I was watching a bunch of games, man. We've seen an offensive explosion, I feel like, in the past couple of weeks. Is that just the warmer weather, or are you guys just getting so deep into ACC play now you've kind of seen everybody, and that's got the offense sparked up?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. I think part of it is you had a really young lineup at this point in the season. Most of the time, you're seeing a freshman in the 3 and 4 hole for Georgia Tech, and Caleb Daniel and Alex Hernandez, who have had outstanding seasons. And so I think you're getting to the point of the season where Danny Hall and James Ramsey, associate head coach, says you don't really call them freshmen anymore, that they're almost a full year into their collegiate career. And so you're starting to see guys really settle into roles. You've had a couple of injuries throughout the season. Kyle Odis was out for about a week and a half. You've had Kent Schmidt out for the last 2 months or so. And then somebody that really came in and really sparked this offense probably 3 weeks ago now has been John Giesler. He's somebody that is kind of an anomaly in today's college baseball. He's been at Georgia Tech for 6 years now and has battled through injuries. He missed the first 17 games of the year. And even when he was just in the dugout, he is the unquestioned leader of this team. He's not the guy that's going to be at the top of the stat sheet, but he is the guy that holds this team together like you would not believe. And somebody that's been a huge impact for this program for a long time. He wears the number 21 that's given honorably at the beginning of the season to a individual that represents Jim Poole, who passed away from ALS a couple of years ago. But he wears that 21, does it with pride, and one of the best to come through Georgia Tech. But you talk about the ACC coming into this weekend, the top 11 teams are separated by less than 5 games in the standings. Less than 5 games, and you still got a month left in this bad boy to go. And so it's top to bottom what the ACC is much stronger than it has been. I think the top may not be where it has been the last couple of years, but 1 through, you could argue, 10, 11 has been really, really impressive so far in the ACC.
I'm here in Greenville, South Carolina. Obviously, Clemson is only like 35, 40 minutes down the road. Clemson is having a phenomenal year. This is actually the best season they've had since the 90s, just from what they were talking about on the news. And obviously ACC play is coming up soon. You guys have a couple more games, a couple of them with SoCon teams, Western Carolina and more specific, and Mercer. But what do you think is different about the ACC as a whole? I mean, obviously, baseball in general, you have your ups, your downs, your left and your rights at all times. But Clemson has been very consistent with the level of play. Georgia Tech has been very consistent with their level of play. And you're kind of like, well, it's early in the year. It's midpoint in the year. Teams are going to go through some. Personally, though, from what we have seen, I don't think we're going to see the top 4, heck, even maybe the top 5 have any more struggles really to finish out the regular season. Obviously, ACC plays a whole different schedule and a whole different season. They say there's 3 different seasons in college baseball. There's your regular season, your conference play, and then your postseason. What do you think is different, though, about the ACC as a whole compared to years of past? I mean, like example, we saw this year in basketball, the SEC was the top of the king of all basketball, and the SEC just did it differently than anybody else. So, like, what is fueling the ACC this year?
I say this all the time, and people think I'm crazy most of the time. But everybody talks about the SEC at the top of college athletics and especially at the top of college baseball. I will argue until the day I die that the ACC, the top half of the ACC and the top half of the SEC are on a level plane. It's where you get into the bottom half. The bottom half of the SEC is still exponentially better than the bottom half of the ACC. That's where the separation comes. But I think you saw it last year in the NCAA postseason. What was Omaha? 4 SEC teams, 4 ACC teams. And I wouldn't be shocked if you see something similar to that, even if it switches a little bit more to the ACC this year. The top half of the ACC is incredibly high-level baseball. I mean, you talked about Clemson. Florida State off to a fantastic start with Link Jarrett this season. Georgia Tech sitting in the third spot. NC State just knocked off Clemson last night. And so the top half of this ACC is as high-level baseball as you were going to find. Really good environments. We were up at Virginia Tech to open up ACC play, and you really step back and think Virginia Tech isn't necessarily known as a top environment in college baseball, but that's a heck of a place to watch a baseball game. That environment is off the chain. And so week in and week out, you get to an ACC ballpark, you are going to see really, really high-level baseball.
And I want to switch up a little bit. To switch to the pro level, obviously, real quick. Georgia has always had great sporting teams in general. The Atlanta Braves are no exception. The Atlanta Braves, for over a decade and a half, were the consistency of excellence. Obviously, they didn't amount to as many Super World Series that we had hoped. But this year, it's kind of been a real rocky start. They're finally starting to wake up, which is a good thing. But, what pieces do you think are going to help possibly propel Atlanta back to dominance? Because there was an article that was put out today that since starting 0-7, the Atlanta Braves have been on a tear, and they are now favored to win between 91 and 96 games. Like, what missing pieces do you think there are that could propel Atlanta Braves back to greatness?
I mean, I think the easy answer is when you get Ronald Acuna back in the outfield. I mean, I think that's kind of the duh moment of the day. But you're expected to have him back sometime in May, I think is still the timeline. But one that nobody's really talking about that I think could have a huge impact on what Atlanta is able to do this year is a very familiar face that at the end of spring training, the Braves signed Craig Kimbrell to a minor league deal. Now, he's had to ramp up a good bit throughout extended spring training. And then he started off the first 3 or 4 games with the Columbus Clingstones down for the AA affiliate. Now he's up with Gwinnett. He has been really, really good. And I'm not going to say that he's going to come out and just shut down baseball like he did the first time he was with Atlanta. But I think he could be a huge impact to the back end of that bullpen for the Braves and essentially be shorting up games like you saw back in the heyday when it was Venters, Kimbrell, and insert everybody else here. And so I think he could be a huge part. And I think if everything goes well, I wouldn't be shocked to see him in Atlanta in a couple of weeks, which sounds crazy considering you only signed him a couple of weeks ago, it feels like. But I think he could be a huge impact. And then obviously you're getting the production that you expected, but haven't really gotten for probably the last year and a half or so from guys like Austin Riley. He's been swinging about as hot as anybody in baseball right now. Matt Olson, you've gotten the production that you expected from the guys that you just flat haven't gotten the last couple of years.
Absolutely. Now, look, obviously you guys, you have a tough month or so left of the regular season. What game or games have you circled and said, this is a must-win kind of game or series even?
I don't know that it's necessarily must-win, but if Georgia Tech is wanting to get back in the hosting conversation, you feel like the RPI has to get up back into the top 20. The biggest obstacle to take you away from that would be in 2 weeks when Louisville comes to Rush Chandler. The good part about the schedule down the last month of the season, 10 of the next 11 are here in Midtown Atlanta, which is fantastic. The only time you go on the road before the final week of the regular season when you head to Duke for the last weekend of the regular season is when you go on a midweek road trip down to Macon, which is only about an hour away. And so you're really not leaving your bed for the next 3 weeks, which is really, really nice. And especially a Georgia Tech team trying to break a little bit of a schneid, lost the last 5 in the offense, trying to get back into the rhythm. But I think that Louisville weekend in 3 weeks, it's a Louisville team that comes in number 19 in the country to this week, and they've been really hot the last few weeks. So I think that's one that really, really has it circled around Jacket fans.
Absolutely, and we cannot wait. All right, so before I let you go, can you let all the people know where they can listen to you, or they can follow the team and that kind of stuff? Because, I mean, like I said, it's baseball. Baseball is the most magical time of year. I kind of get like a kid at a candy store, even on Christmas morning when I get to go see baseball.
Yeah, so we'll have our broadcast 15 minutes prior with the Ramblin' Wreck on Deck show to each game. We'll be on the air on the Georgia Tech Sports Network. You can find it on the Georgia Tech Game Day app. You can find it on the link that we put out on social media, georgiatech.leanplayer.com. And then follow the team, social media, at GT Baseball, I think it is, but just search Georgia Tech Baseball, and it's a really fun team to watch, man. And you and I think, have gone back and forth talking about there's something different about this team. There's something special about this team. And I don't know that it necessarily means that it ends in Omaha, which would be absolutely fantastic. But there's something special about this team and a really, really fun team to watch.
Absolutely. And we cannot wait. And we are behind the Ramblin' Wreck 200% of the way. Colin, I thank you from the bottom of our heart coming on. Obviously, you took time out of your busy day to come on, and it really does mean a lot to us. So for Matt, Shane, and Hank, we want to say thank you, and we are going to cheer you guys on. I would absolutely love to have you on again if that sounds good.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime. And appreciate you guys kind of pivoting a little bit to be able to make this work. And again, happy birthday, man.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. You take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good.
All right. Guys, what a fantastic guest to have on. Thank you for the call, and thank you to everybody who watched. Obviously, it's kind of like a last-minute thing, but we want to let you know there will be an episode tonight. Join us if you can at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. It is episode number 99 of the Sportz Nutz. We're going to talk some baseball. We're going to talk some basketball, hockey, football. The draft has just started. We saw a significant player who got snubbed in the first round. I want to hear about you guys' thoughts on that and more. Until then, guys, for everybody on the Sportz Nutz, for Matt, Shane, Hank, myself, I tell you, peace up. Anytime down, greatest sports. Everyone, have a wonderful evening. Take care. Or actually, one afternoon, take care. And I'll see you tonight. Good night.